Where is Brian Laundrie? The FBI, investigators, and dive teams return to a sprawling nature preserve in Florida, searching for Gabby Petito's fiancé.
A slow-moving cold front triggers flash flooding, then a break in the humidity.
It was the first Broadway show to raise the curtain during the pandemic, and New York Live goes inside the inspiration for Passover. This is News 4 Now for September 23rd. I'm Adam Cooperstein. It's been 9 days now, and there's still no sign of Brian Laundrie. Crews continue to comb a massive nature preserve in Florida, looking for the only person of interest in the death of Long Island native Gabby Petito. Search crews are out for a third straight day. They're scouring the alligator and snake-infested 25,000-acre preserve in Venice, Florida. Laundrie slipped away from authorities after they named him a person of interest. It's not clear how long investigators plan to search that preserve or where they may look next, but the FBI has been trailing his parents around for surveillance purposes. In fact, Thursday morning, they were seen returning home with his silver Ford Mustang, which authorities towed last week as evidence. Neighbors say the family seemed friendly and normal, and that has them asking questions.
Where's your son? And why aren't you seeming to be more concerned about where your son is and supposedly the love of his life, who is now no longer here? And how are you living with knowing that your son could be the one who's responsible?
Gabby Petito's body was found in this Wyoming campground 18 days after Laundrie arrived back in Florida with the van they had been traveling in. He has not been charged with a crime and has not spoken to police. And the NYPD is now investigating a deadly mystery in Central Park. A woman who was gardening found a man's body early Wednesday morning. It was in a park meadow just off of East Drive near 65th Street. The 26-year-old man was lying face up with a rope around his neck. Police are calling the death suspicious. Bicyclists, runners, and visitors who use the famous park are shocked.
It is very surprising because honestly, there's a kids park right over this. I walk through every time and play softball here for years.
It's definitely really scary, and I hope that people are safe and more people know about it.
I would say it makes me think twice now going out at this time.
Police aren't releasing the identity of that man until they can notify his family. New York City is now being allowed to move forward with its vaccine mandate for teachers and school staff. Wednesday night, a judge lifted a temporary restraining order that was blocking the mandate. So that means school employees must have at least one dose of the COVID vaccine by Monday or risk losing their jobs if they don't have a valid exemption. But the workers' unions claim that the mandate violates their members' rights. They say they plan to continue their legal action. Patterson education officials are calling for a school lunch overhaul, and the pictures you're about to see explain why. According to our partners at NorthJersey.com, this is what landed on students' cafeteria trays last week. Something called chicken cheesesteak and another mysterious object that came with fries and a roll. When these pictures were posted on social media, parents and school officials were outraged. Superintendent Eileen Schaefer told the Patterson Press that the school district will not tolerate this. A district spokesman says the cafeteria staffers who prepared these meals are being retrained. You're looking at a rescue on the high seas about 40 miles southwest of Montauk. According to the Coast Guard, a crew member on a fishing boat was showing signs of shock on Sunday evening after he was hit in the leg by a Stingray barb. The Coast Guard airlifted that man to a hospital in Rhode Island, and we don't know his name or where he's from. We are told that he is stable. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle kicked off their New York City weekend in Lower Manhattan on Thursday morning. The royal couple joined Governor Hochul and Mayor de Blasio at One World Observatory. They're in town to attend the Global Citizen Live Festival. It's a concert in Central Park on Saturday, and they're urging the G7 and EU to donate at least 1 billion COVID vaccine doses immediately to those most in need around the world. The concert will also feature performances from Coldplay, Billie Eilish, J-Lo, and so many other big names.
Hey, I'm meteorologist Matt Brickman. We've got yet another round of heavy rain this month, and it looks like it could lead to more flooding. The biggest concerns are west and north of New York City, not so much down the Jersey Shore out through Long Island, but we're looking at 1 to 3 inches of rain, which is much lighter than what we had September 1 and 2 with the remnants of Ida. But so much of the soil is still saturated from that event that a couple of inches of rain over a few hours' time could lead to flooding. Out west, look for the storms to move in late this afternoon through the mid-evening. Maybe some damaging winds and isolated severe weather out that direction as well. The line should weaken as it gets closer to the city, still capable of dropping 1 to 2 inches through the Hudson Valley and then down into the city, and now pushing eastward out through Suffolk County. Rain doesn't really get going until after midnight and should be a little bit lighter behind that as well. Once it all clears, a gorgeous weekend ahead of us with plenty of sunshine and finally a break in that humidity.
It was the first show to reopen on Broadway during the pandemic, and New York Live is with the creative woman behind Passover.
I have been waiting a year and a half to be able to say these words. Today, I'm going to be telling you about a new Broadway play. The show is Passover, and today I'm going to introduce you to the woman bringing it to Broadway. Antoinette, I am so happy to be meeting you here down by the Hudson River on the west side. Tell me why you chose this location first before we get into Passover.
I chose this location because, well, first and foremost, I was born and raised in Los Angeles, California, so I am a beach girl. I'm a water girl. So to be near the water is to be near flow, to be near creativity, to be near life. Look at that, it's life.
Listen, for anybody who doesn't know you, tell them your role in this wonderful Broadway show.
Well, I wrote it.
The creator. To be the first show reopening Broadway, to be a Black female creative opening Broadway. Talk to me about that.
That's a big responsibility. I was not the person, ooh, I want to go first. No. But that was a moment when I felt like, okay, I'm being chosen for a moment. Don't say no, rise to that occasion.
For anybody who isn't familiar with the Chicago production, the Lincoln Center production, how would you describe Passover?
This iteration of the play I would describe as a beautiful friendship and love relationship between two young Black men over the course of 2 nights who are houseless and who are visited several times by 2 different white male characters that they have to together overcome.
The last 20 minutes of this play, first of all, are like nothing I have ever seen on stage. And you left with the sense of hope.
That's what I need people to leave with, because I think that's what we need to do in the real world. We need to heal. And I want to give you a vision of healing in the theater so you can go heal in the world.
Well, you could call it a winning combo in the fight against the coronavirus. Some McDonald's locations on Long Island are trying to supersize vaccination numbers by offering vaccines at some of their locations. News 4's Greg Sergel is in Massapequa with the story.
Here in Massapequa today, the pandemic made for strange bedfellows, a fast food restaurant with COVID vaccine on the menu.
One wouldn't equate a McDonald's with the vaccine, but
Here we are.
All done.
Nassau's health department administered about 20 doses of Moderna vaccine at this McDonald's today. It was an effort requested by the restaurant's owner.
I'm hoping by the end of a couple of months, I have my whole company vaccinated.
Jonah Kaufman employs 700 people at 11 Long Island McDonald's, but many, he says, have had neither the access nor the time to get the shot. Eliminating vaccine obstacles for workers and customers is why Nassau County began taking its traveling vaccine program to businesses last month.
Sometimes we vaccinate 3 people, sometimes 20 or 30. It's been very successful.
But even with every step forward, Long Island saw more than 1,000 positive COVID cases on Monday, the second highest total in the state. Nassau's health commissioner points to the unvaccinated for this continuing spread.
This is still predominantly a disease of unvaccinated people with a small percentage of breakthrough cases, which happens with any vaccine.
And that's why the vaccination effort came here to McDonald's today. The owner is hoping to do this at another of his fast food restaurants next month. But we found one woman who won't be standing in line for that.
I wouldn't come here to get vaccinated. That would be the last place I'd go.
Greg Sergel, News 4 New York.
Thank you so much for joining us on News 4 Now. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.